Before I start my discussion, I want to share a quotation to you from Dr. Maria Montessori, one of the proponents of constructivism. She says, "The hand is a cheap teacher." Why do you think she stated that? Scientifically speaking, when a student, a learner, or a child has an interest in something, his frontal lobe ignites and gives signal to the right hand to create, build, or make something, experience something, and from that experience, learning is born. And that is one of the aspects of the theory that I would be discussing today. Constructivism comes from the word construct, which means to create, make, or build something, and a suffix ism, which means a belief. When we combine it together, construct and ism will become a belief of building something. When we talk about the nature of the theory of constructivism, it is a student-centered philosophy that was rooted from both philosophy and psychology. Philosophy, which means the search for the fundamental truth, and psychology, a branch of social science that deals with one's individual behavior. This theory is also based from observations and scientific study on how people learn, a theory that is often associated with the pedagogical approach of active learning, and a theory that states that it is our experience. It is our experiences that is the building blocks of knowledge. When we reflect on our experiences, we construct own knowledge and understanding. Now, how constructivism and cognitivism related to each other? It is because both of them believe that it is the learner, the student, that is actively involved in the learning process. Constructivism stems from cognitivism, because if cognitivism believed that learning is a logical process with no emotion or humanistic factors involved, constructivism asserted that learning is actually a blend of logic and a humanistic approach. Now, one question that is very interesting to answer is about the aim, the objective of constructivism. Its aim is to create men and women that are capable of doing new things, not just repeating the older generation. This also aims to make learners expert on their learnings who actively produce knowledge. Constructivist sees a learner that was intrinsically motivated, independent, and adequately equipped with learning skills for them to be able to construct knowledge and make meaning of them. The persons behind this theory were John Piaget, who asserted that the construction of new knowledge happens through cognitive stages, Leigh Vygotsky, who states that culture affects the learning environment, John Dewey, who believed that learning is not only based on facts, information, or academics. Instead, education is about educating the whole child physically, mentally, and socially. Jerome Bruner, who believes that learners learn from discoveries, and Maria Montessori, who stated that learning is a natural and spontaneous process. It is not acquired by listening to words, but in virtue of experience in which the child acts on his environment. Speaking on what to teach, it sounds confusing, but this theory actually teaches a learner how to learn. Learners are taught learning processes such as searching, critiquing and evaluating information, relating the pieces of information, reflecting on the same, making meaning out of them, drawing insights, posing questions, and researching and constructing new knowledge out of these bits of information learned. The content curriculum seeks to identify a learner's strength and focus on it. The curriculum should be adapted from individual needs and developmental levels. A teacher will make an effort to understand their students' pre-existing conception and use active techniques such as real-world problem solving and experiment to address the student conception built on time. There is a great focus and emphasis on social and communication skills as well as collaboration and exchange of ideas. A constructivist classroom is interactive, where dialogical exchange of ideas among learners and between teachers and learners is promoted. It is a classroom where everyone identifies their own strengths and the teacher provides students with data or experiences that allow them to hypothesize, predict, manipulate objects, pose questions, research, investigate, imagine, and invent. In this theory, the role of the teacher was just to facilitate the learning process, while the learner is actively building knowledge through experience, active and mental process of development, and was assessed using a rubric or a kind of table with specifically prepared criteria for student performance allocated to the accurate levels of proficiency. Constructivists believe that the process of gaining knowledge is viewed as being just important as the product. Activities such as reflective journals and portfolios, field trip, group-based projects, group discussions or small group works, presentations whether verbal or poster, experiment, debates, role-playing, brainstorming, mind mapping, individual study, and hands-on activities are type of assessment aligns to this theory. To conclude, constructivism is a student-centered philosophy or approach that promotes that learnings of the learner comes from experiences and active and mental process of development. This philosophy was proposed by Lev Vygotsky, Jean Piaget, Jerome Bruner, John Dewey, and Maria Montessori. A constructivist classroom is interactive, where the teacher only facilitates the learning, while the learners are the one who create and build knowledge through their experiences, and was assessed by rubric and some various kind of activities. Before I end my discussion, I just want to say something that I think even before learning constructivism, I'm sure all of us already experienced what constructivist classroom is. That's all for today. God bless. Stay gold, everyone.